Okay, the intro's over. Time to grab your drink and sit down. Come on, we're starting.
And just like that, magically we appear. All right, so listen. Here's the deal. Is everybody listening? Is everybody paying attention? And if you're not ready, you don't have to be ready. You just got to be ready. So put your shit away. All right, turn off the jar. Listen, I don't have. I have a 3-hour show. Well, I got a 3-hour show ready to go. But okay, that's not true. I got a 3-hour show, but it's not quite ready to go. I've been doing a lot of homework on the China stuff. What's really fascinating about the China stuff is that as you start, remember we were talking the last 3 or 4 months, we're talking about the buildup, we're talking about the South China Sea, we're talking about their relationship with Vietnam and what Vietnam went to, the Vietnam went to Japan and signed an agreement, and then the South Philippines went to Japan and signed an agreement. And so you're trying to get all the details, you're trying to get how logistically what this means, and then all of a sudden India pops up with their thing about their diamond little sphere. They put diamonds on all the places their spheres influence, and it's a bubble, it's a dome. They call it the diamond shield or something, where they put little diamond markers on a map where they can see where we're expanding our territory, we're locking in our stuff, we're building our manufacturing. They're building. It's important. Well, by the time you get done doing some research, because it's just me, there's not 20 people working for me. I'm barely working for me. So when you do that, you get to a point where you're behind. You can't quite catch up on all the stories. And by the time you're like, okay, I got a good solid 90 minutes of stuff I want to say, that's not the topic anymore. And I'm going to change something right here just so I can see you guys. I want to be able to see. I don't have a way to see the on Streamlabs. I don't have a way to see the comment section. I mean, it can, but it's really small. It doesn't come out good. However, if I do this right here, I can pull it up on YouTube just the same way you guys do. And then when I pull it up on YouTube, I can see the comments and I can pop out the chat, and then we can go from there. So I try to do that. Let's turn this off, and then see it live, and go to your channel. And I just want to be able to see it. That's all I'm saying is if I could see what's going on, I can read, I can get a little bit of the context. That'll give you guys a chance to settle in anyway, because I just started running my mouth like we had some place to be in a big hurry, and I didn't. I just was in a hurry to do it. All right, come on, click the button, do the thing, and there it is there, and there it is there, and then we go over to here, and then I can see it. All right, almost there, and we'll turn that on. You guys got to be able to read comments, right? So you want me to do the comments, right? So I'll do the comments, and there, and we'll put that save, and then details. I know this is really exciting for you guys. Great quality entertainment here from your host. All right, now it's up, and now let's see, pop out chat. I don't know if there's anybody in chat. I haven't been able to see it. So we'll pop out the chat. We'll minimize this. All right. Now I can see the chat. Now I can see who's here. Who's tuning in today? I know I was no announcement. Deepak's in here. Chush, Two Bear. There we go. Lionheart swinging a big blue wrench with along with Two Bear. Eve on a stick. Pom, 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 pom. Remember when I used to say her name wrong? Drop 'em, Mr. Flibblehogs. Okay, so listen. Usual suspects have all arrived. The ranks are filling up in the back, which is great. There's couches for those of you that need to lay down. So what I was trying to tell you was that when you're talking about China, and there's a lot of stuff to go along with that, that by the time you get one story ready, we're on to the next story. It's like a 24-hour news cycle, and it's even faster than that. It's hour by hour. So what I want to do is pull back for a second and just kind of give you guys some highlights. But there's one important message. It has to be a really short show today. There's a lot of stuff going on in management at Gen X Talks. A lot of issues and contracts are being signed today and getting resolved, keeping people where they're supposed to be. That's a big thing. And things have to run smoothly. And when they don't, it's like just you can imagine just a wrench in the cog in the wheels, and it all comes to a screeching halt because of one thing. So that's working out today. We should be back on track by tomorrow and have a wonderful, wonderful time all through the fall and winter season, all the way up to January. So, without going into that any further, there's something along with the short show. There's something that I needed you guys to remember that really hit me hard about China. Not the invasion of Taiwan that's probably coming, not the relationships that they're building between North Korea and Russia. And they're being very vocal about it. Well, can we all agree on that? That there's all sorts of pictures. I got some here. It's going to be a little weird because I didn't, that's not that one. Where was it here? Let me find it. Yeah, so there's one right there. And I just threw these in there at the last second, but they're all over the news. We know that Kim Jong went to Russia and he's parading himself around, and it's a big, big deal because he's there and he doesn't go there. He doesn't go anywhere. He never leaves. This is a big, serious thing to have happen. It's a political statement. And so you got to take that for what it is. And there's another one in here. Let me find the other one. There's the other one. And here he is again. Here's Putin and Kim Jong shaking hands. Now, imagine if this is what we can see on TV. Imagine if this is what they're doing publicly, that he went to Russia, Russia shaking his hand. Putin has now agreed to go visit North Korea. That's a big, big thing, right? So imagine what's happening behind the scenes. Imagine what's going on with the stuff that we don't know, the stuff that we can't see, because it's huge. It's absolutely huge. We don't know all the ins and outs, the wherefores and what have yous. But if this is what we can see on the surface, imagine what they're doing without anybody knowing. All right. Now, we've talked off and on about all the things that are obviously clearly going on, that China is teetering always on food supply. They import all of their natural resources to build and do things. That's a huge issue. Now they're having a financial collapse. They're in a real estate collapse. They're just tipping over they're going over the cliff right now, and they can't stop it. And everybody knows they can't stop it. It's just nobody knows how they're going to deal with it. I personally think they're going to distract the world and make a move on getting some money, getting some resources, getting some control by messing with Taiwan. That's what I think is going to happen. It's pretty clear something's going to happen. And like I said, we can see what they're doing on the outside. We can't see what's going on behind the scenes, but it's getting big. All right, let me go back to a couple more other things here. Boom, 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 boom. And we talk about that one, and talk about that one last. What was that other one? The stupid one about this one. If you're going to start a war, if you're going to get control over everything. One of the things, what did Nazi Germany do? Look at this. The Communist Party seeks to mandate jail time for hurting the feelings of the Chinese nation. It's true. This has been in the news for a couple of weeks in different levels, and different people are bringing it out. They want to control every piece of news in their country, which they're doing. They want to limit anything that leaves their country, which they're doing. On top of that, now they have to pressure any opposition. If you do or say anything that is against the Chinese Communist Party, you're going to get a ticket, you're going to get a fine, you're going to go to jail. It's a problem. You're going to learn to shut up. You're going to learn to not say anything, and that's the best way to put it. If you're going to put a law out there like that, what better way to put it? Don't hurt our feelings. Why? Because that's subjective. What do you mean don't hurt your feelings? Don't hurt your feelings about what you ate for breakfast, or don't hurt your feelings about we don't like what President Xi's wearing for shoes these days. They look kind of tacky. What do you mean hurt your feelings? It's a blanket statement. China's just saying don't fucking hurt our feelings about anything. Don't say anything that contradicts the Communist Party. And the last time we had that was in that much. Well, now Russia to some extent, yeah, but Russia wasn't as much. They were clamping down in the Cold War on what you were saying and doing about the party, like militarily and the government. This one just covers everything. The last time it covered everything was Germany. In the late 30s, they just came in and said, if you say anything bad about Hitler, if you don't like his mustache, if you don't like how high we're kicking our legs in the military, if you don't like what Eva Braun had for breakfast, yeah, we're going to shoot you. And you read the history books. It was bad. It was really bad. You couldn't say or do anything. You couldn't have any opinion other than what the Nazi Party told you to say. Now it's the same way with the communists. You can't say anything about the government unless it's approved by the Communist Party. It's a big thing. They're clamping down on people. What better way to get rid of anybody you don't want? What better way to get rid of and control everything than just go, yeah, you looked at us funny. Yeah, you raised your eyebrow. No, I saw you raise your eyebrow. Now, if you would have raised two eyebrows, I would have thought you were surprised. But you raised one eyebrow. Nah, now you're looking at me like I'm suspicious, and that hurts my feelings. You're going to jail. It's a very broad statement. Now, they didn't write in hurt the feelings thing. That just is a long out paragraph, but it just says anything you do that we don't like, we can get you in trouble for. So with all these things, I've been trying to build something to talk about, and it just flies right by. And I keep pounding the same core things in there about their economy, about their money, about there's stuff going on, but I don't have time to get into it. There's a lot of stuff going on around here today that's going to limit me, but I didn't want to skip today because the big message is still coming. All right. We can talk about China and Russia. We can talk about China and North Korea. We can talk about North Korea and Russia. Talk about everything you want. Go right around the board, and we'll talk about some of these things. We'll throw in there some bad decisions we're making elsewhere. You guys heard about this, I'm sure. This was horrible. This happened a couple days back. Biden's the administration says, we want to trade some of our hostages for some of your hostages. We'll give you 4 or 5 of our guys. You give you 4 or 5 of your guys. And they said, yeah, if you really want your guys back, you're also going to release all the money you're holding. I think it's $6 billion that we've put on hold through the World Monetary Fund and the UN, and we have control over that, and we've seized that money. Like, no, you can't have it. So everybody flipped out on this. Our allies flipped out on this. Like, you just gave them $6 billion. So we had to pull back and go, whoa, really how this is going to work, you see, is we're going to go ahead and they want it for humanitarian aid. They need it for food. They need it for water. So we're gonna go ahead and let out $1 million here and $2 million there and $1 million here and 500,000 there. But I'm telling you, the Biden administration says this. I'm telling you, if we see them acting foolishly, if we think they're using that for any sort of nuclear, if they're army, if they're military, I'm telling you, we'll pull the plug on the rest. Okay. I don't know. I'm just a dumb mechanic in military. I'm old school. I was raised back in the 70s and 80s. I remember what it's like to, go punch someone in the face when they're punching you in the face. It sounds to me an awful lot like, from an old school perspective, someone's going to say, well, we gave them 5 hostages and we got 5 hostages and we got part of our money, but they're choking us out on go get some more hostages. No, go run out and grab some more Americans and we'll do this again. We'll get another chunk of money. Go out and board one of those. Send our boats out there and grab one of those big freight ships, those multi-billion-dollar freight, those big long cruises, all the boxes, cargo containers. Grab one of those. We'll trade that. Once you give into that sort of stuff, when does it end? We've already done it. Still doing it. Just bringing up some stuff here. Just talking, man. We're just having a conversation. All right, what else I threw in there? Yeah, this is the other one too. Now this ties in. This is a big thing. You're going to see it get pushed a lot real soon. This is going to become an issue that everyone's going to talk about. This is from yesterday. Chinese shipbuilding capacity 200 times greater than the U.S. Navy intelligence is. Okay, hold the phone. First of all, they got a lot of workers, and they do have a lot of ports. I think one time I was doing some homework on that, and the Chinese naval shipyards building capacity, they have 15 times more shipyards with building capacity than we do, and their biggest one is larger than all of ours put together. Not worried. Not concerned at all. Why? Well, I'm going to tell you. Number one, our military has a strict policy of quality over quantity. Do you catch that? We absolutely use quality over quantity in our military. What do you think China does? It's always quantity. Got a 1 million-man army. They're not trained so well. There's 1 million of them. We got more Navy ships than you do. We don't know how to use them as well as you do. They're okay. We're not trained. A lot of their stuff, they're still trying to figure out how to make it work. They see the blueprint, they print it out, but when you actually build it and put it out in the water, it's not as easy to operate, and then you have to get hundreds of systems to work together seamlessly. Shit that we do perfectly. That we've perfected. They're a long ways away. So what? They got a lot of metal floating out in the water. So what? They can build a lot more. Now, can they? Well, yes, look at the shipyards. What about raw materials? Oh, well, the raw materials is, I'm sorry, what was that? See, you can isolate the United States, and within a certain amount of time, we can drill for our own oil, our own natural gas. We can pull all the resources out of the ground we need. You can't. China has pulled everything out that they can, and they import so much stuff. You want to get into a fight where you can supply all of your big Navy with food with materials, with ammunition to repair the boats, repair the planes? Where? You don't have it. You absolutely have to bring everything into your country. We bring a lot of stuff. We don't have to, though. Go ahead. You could build away, man. You don't know how they work. You're not building quality, and you don't have the supplies to back them up in a prolonged conflict of any kind at all. We can. We absolutely, as a country, can fight 2 theaters of war at the same time and keep them fully sustained the entire time. I don't think you can do one. And I'm not challenging you. I'm just saying you ain't got it in you. And there's obvious reasons. It's not like I'm a super smart guy sitting here in Central California with my telescope going, oh, look what's going on over there. No. I'm listening and reading and learning from people way smarter than me about specific things. And there's 5 guys that are talking about their money. There's 5 different guys that have been 30-year experts on China's military. And there's 5 guys that have been 30-year experts on their housing market. And then I'm listening to the 5 different guys, 30-year experts talking about their imports and exports and how on edge they are. These are people that fucking know. All you have to do is listen. You're not listening to one guy. If you listen to 5 different people on 5 different things in the same topic and like, wow, these guys are all experts, and they all come together, you're like, well, okay, these conclusions are probably pretty accurate. That's all these guys do is study one aspect of China, and they're really good at it. So I give you a summary of what smarter than people than me are saying. I'm just putting the pieces together. All right? People of the good shit, hear me speak. That's all I'm telling you. So I haven't got to the good part yet. What was that on there? There was a Wayne Slager, $50. You know, we never get money in the World Show, man. Wayne, far out, man. $50. Thanks for, now I feel like I can go out and get some breakfast after this. Wayne, thanks for that, man. I appreciate that. Normally, dollars don't come in. Super chats do not come in on world shows. We do this just so we can learn from you and you can learn from us, and we pass everything around. But Wayne, man, you've given me hope today. That was something I really needed today, Wayne. Thank you for that. I appreciate that a ton, buddy. What was his name? I got to write that down. Wayne Slager. I don't even think I've known that name until right now. So far out. That's fucking cool. You know, it's one thing when a regular does something and contributes like that, but shot in the dark, man. I'm digging that. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, so let me go back to because I know it's a short show today, but the main message is something I still got to tell you. And whether we're China, you know, evil, bad, communist dictator, gonna go to war, gonna fuck with Taiwan, we're gonna fight, they're gonna fight, China. That's all we ever hear. That's all I ever say. To be fair, that's all I ever say. But there's something that hit me this morning. One thing. I don't want to say it's a small thing. It is a small thing, but to me, it's a very big thing. So let me go find it because it is important. All right. Where is that thing here? Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Come on now. Where'd my picture go? God damn it. This is what happens when I don't have time to write it. Is right there. Now, this is a story out of China that has nothing to do with the military. It has nothing to do with anything. Just look at the picture and read what it says. Man jumps into fast-flowing river to rescue girl. See the hero? And they got a video of it. Somebody taped that in there. But I want you guys to settle back in your chair for a second. If you got your cup of coffee in your hand, take a sip and just listen for 5 seconds. Think about this picture and why I include this. Is this military? No. Is it Taiwan? No. Does it have any bearing on any of the things we ever talk? No, it doesn't. I just want you guys to remember that as much as we all have some certain sort of feeling on the Chinese military and the Chinese government, Chinese people are different. Chinese people are the ones getting oppressed by a new law that says, don't make fun of us or we'll put you in jail. The Chinese people are the ones that they've stolen all their money out of all the banks. Remember last year when they had those riots for almost a year at the banks, good people just trying to get their money out, and the government said no? Please don't forget that the Chinese people are great people. Those are good people that they're not even allowed to tell you They're not even allowed to say out loud, if we get rid of these fucking government, we could all play along in the world and be just fine. Please don't forget that the Chinese people are not the government. It's not their fault. All right, now you get into a gray area when the military is Chinese people, but they're following orders for their government. They love their homeland. They want to do good. And there's a difference between someone that's following orders that doesn't want to and one that is out there just trying to destroy some other people because that's his job. I'm not going to get into the morality of that. Let's leave the military part out. I just want you guys to remember, and I'm probably the only person that's ever going to bring this up. The Chinese people are great people. They're good people. They're hardworking. They're trying to figure this out. They're trying to live a life like you and I are living under the oppressive thumb of the Communist Party. What do? They're just trying to get by, man. Please don't forget that they're regular good people. I know that we have some listeners, some viewers, some followers that are listening live, watching live, and I know that they do some replays over in Hong Kong. I know this program ekes its way into China. So I want to tell you, any of the Chinese people that are listening, I need you guys to know that we as Americans, and I'll speak for my country, you can speak for yours, but we don't hate you guys at all. We love you guys. We're very understanding of your situation. You got to understand ours. We got to stand up. If your government goes off the reservation, we got to do something, but we are not in any way holding you guys responsible for this. I just want it just people to people, person to person. I need you guys to know that. That's a real thing, and it's a real feeling, and it really fucking counts. All right? So listen, that was the main message. I know it was a short show today. Another one popped up here. Let me see who's in. Who's the shoeless one? $10 only if our president doesn't give the stuff away, like Afghanistan and Ukraine. Yep, I know. I'm with you. So listen, I do got to go. It's a short half-hour show today. I didn't want to leave you guys stranded. Didn't want you guys to think I wasn't here. I am here. We got some stuff to sort out on our end that's going to streamline things and make things better than they were before. And, every now and then you got to just burn everything to the ground, and whatever's left standing is the only stuff worth keeping. That's biblical, man. If you need me to go back and show you where that is and what that means, the only thing left standing is the only thing you needed to keep anyway. Everything else that perished in the fire, who gives a shit? It's a loose analogy, but that's what's going on. We're tearing a bunch of stuff down, keeping the core and moving forward. So I've got some big ambitions going on here. Some big stories we want to talk about. We want to relate. We want to hear from you guys on what's going on in your neck of the woods. But at the same time, you can't forget Chinese people, Ukrainian people. You can't just lump the whole country when you see the picture on a world map and go, fuck those assholes, because it's not like that. It's not. Anyway, I got to get out of here. I got to run. I wish I had more time, but I don't. I just need you guys to remember that with all that's going on, please keep your eye on the ball about the important stuff, which all the important stuff absolutely is. China, the government, the military, the actions, the desperation they're in right now. They're in a desperate time. Even our own military says 18 months. They're going to have to do something. All right. That's a little longer than I thought. I thought it was a little sooner, but, what do I know? I'm just a dumb mechanic in the middle of the desert. But don't forget the people. Keep your eye on the ball, but don't forget the people. I'm not. Anyway, that's it. I got to run. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know it was a short show, but at least it counted. At least it was something. I'm not sure if we're doing a Facebook show tonight, but we're definitely doing the Bottom of the Glass Nation show tomorrow night. So if there's any big announcements, that's when you'll hear about it. I got to go. Catch you guys on the flip side.